Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. When I sit down and really think about everything happening in Port Charles right now, I cannot help but feel a deep sense of unease creeping over me, especially when it comes to Britt Westbourne. Now, let us be completely honest with one another for a moment. Britt has never exactly been the kind of woman who wins any popularity contests around town. She has a sharp tongue, a fiery temper, and a history of rubbing people the wrong way. But underneath that tough, prickly exterior, there is a woman who has fought incredibly hard to find her place in the world. So when the whispers start circulating that Britt might be missing, and not just missing, but potentially in grave danger, it absolutely sends a shiver straight down my spine. It is one thing to take a little vacation to clear your head, but it is an entirely different story when a woman simply vanishes into thin air without a trace. My heart immediately goes out to her mother, Liesl Obrecht. Oh, heavens to Betsy, if there is anyone in this world who has been through the absolute ringer, it is Liesl. As mothers, grandmothers, and women who have lived full lives, we know deep in our bones that there is no love quite as fierce or as desperate as a mother's love for her child. Liesl has already suffered the unimaginable agony of losing her dear son, Nathan West. And just recently, she was led to believe that Cassius Faison, who we all thought was Nathan for so long, has also passed away due to some tricky business with the WSB. When a mother loses that much, she holds on to whatever she has left with a grip like iron. Britt is her only remaining child, her sole anchor in a world that has taken so much from her. I can only imagine the sheer, blinding panic that must be gripping Liesl's heart right now. She is going to protect her daughter like a fierce mama bear, and heaven help anyone who stands in her way. What really makes this whole disappearance so alarming to me is the simple fact that Britt was finally getting her life back on track. She had just managed to reclaim her job at General Hospital, a position she fought tooth and nail to secure. We all know how much pride Britt takes in her medical career. It is her identity, her calling, and her way of proving her worth to a town that has often judged her harshly. A woman who has just fought that hard to get her professional life back in order does not just up and abandon her post without saying a word to anyone. In my experience, when someone's daily routine breaks that abruptly, where there is smoke, there is absolutely fire. Her sudden absence from the hospital corridors is a glaring red flag waving wildly in the wind, signaling to everyone that something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. The ripple effect of Britt's sudden disappearance is starting to touch so many lives in Port Charles, and it is truly moving to witness. Take young Rocco Falconeri, for example. He is just a boy, already dealing with his own heavy burdens and the complicated legacy of his family, yet he is finding the capacity in his heart to be deeply worried about Britt. And then there is Nina Reeves. Bless her heart, Nina is already up to her neck in her own complicated drama involving Willow Kane and her strategic plotting with Jack Brennan. Yet, despite all the chaos in her own life, Nina is feeling the chill of Britt's absence. It just goes to show that in a tight-knit community, family ties and unexpected friendships bind us all together. When one person falls into the shadows, the whole town feels the cold. Thank goodness for Jason Morgan. I just breathed a massive sigh of relief knowing that Jason is back in town. He has been through his own harrowing ordeal, having been held in captivity, and he has returned a changed man, wanting nothing more than to step away from the dangerous mob life and focus on his family. But Jason has a hero's heart, plain and simple. When Liesl Obrecht and young Rocco corner him, pleading with tears in their eyes for him to sound the alarm and find Britt, you just know Jason is not going to turn his back on them. I can picture him now, standing there with that quiet, stoic strength of his, realizing that he is the only one equipped to navigate the dark underbelly of this situation. He is a man of action, and when people he cares about are in trouble, he steps up to the plate. It is incredibly fitting, in a somewhat tragic way, that Jason is the one who will likely lead the charge to find Britt. Because he just survived his own terrifying period of captivity, he knows exactly how it feels to be locked away, isolated, and stripped of your freedom. That fresh trauma gives him a unique, empathetic perspective that the local police simply do not have. Jason knows how to read the streets, how to follow the faintest breadcrumbs, and how to think like a captor. I have no doubt that he and the others will move heaven and earth, turning over every stone in Port Charles to uncover the truth about what has happened to Britt. But as much as I worry for Britt, my heart absolutely shatters into a million pieces when I think about the root cause of all this danger, Anna Devane. Anna has always been a pillar of strength, a brilliant and capable woman who has saved the day more times than we can count. To see her reduced to such a fragile, broken state is nothing short of a profound tragedy. She was recently released from a mental health facility in France, and we all hoped and prayed that she had found some peace. But the mind is a delicate, complicated thing, and it is painfully clear that the trauma she has endured have left deep, unhealed wounds. Her mental health is standing on a razor's edge, and she is slipping into a very dark place. The most terrifying part of Anna's downward spiral is the ghost that is haunting her. She is suffering from vivid, agonizing hallucinations of Peter August. It gives me absolute goosebumps just thinking about it. Peter is not there in the flesh, but in Anna's fractured mind, he is as real as you and me. He is acting like a dark, sinister devil, perched right on her shoulder, whispering pure poison directly into her ear. Anyone who has ever struggled with their mental health or watched a loved one struggle knows how terrifying it is when your own mind turns against you. Peter is using all of Anna's past pain, all her unresolved grief, and twisting it into a weapon. In these chilling hallucinations, Peter is feeding Anna a steady diet of lies and misplaced blame. He is convincing her that Britt and Cassius are the ones entirely responsible for the massive, destructive mess that Caesar Faison left behind. He is placing the entire burden of Anna's past suffering squarely on Britt's shoulders. Now, we all know the real truth. We know that Ross Cullum is the one who truly bears the blame for the specific, recent misdeeds that have caused so much chaos, but Anna cannot see the forest for the trees right now. Her mind is so clouded by the trauma and the relentless voice of Peter that she is completely unable to distinguish fact from the twisted fiction her illness is creating. The plan that this hallucinated Peter is cooking up for Britt is truly the stuff of nightmares. He does not just want Britt to disappear, he wants her to suffer in the most profound way possible. He is slowly convincing Anna that Britt deserves to face a grim, agonizing fate. The logic is so incredibly twisted. Peter is arguing that Britt needs to be punished, that she needs to be locked away and forced to endure the exact same kind of mental and emotional anguish that Anna herself was forced to suffer. It is a dark, vicious cycle of pain begetting more pain. The thought of Anna Devane, our beloved, heroic Anna, becoming a captor is almost too much to bear. To think that her broken mind might drive her to kidnap Britt and hold her hostage in some dark, forgotten room is deeply unsettling. It is a classic tragedy watching a good person be manipulated by their own inner demons into doing something so completely out of character. If Anna goes through with this, she will be inflicting the very trauma she is trying to heal from onto another woman. It breaks my heart because I know that if Anna were in her right mind, she would be horrified by her own actions. However, as dark and terrifying as this situation is, I always try to look for the silver lining, and I think I have found one here. If Anna does indeed follow Peter's sinister advice and decides to hold Britt captive rather than doing something immediately fatal, it actually provides a glimmer of hope. Captivity means that Britt is still breathing. It means she is still alive, fighting to survive, and waiting for a miracle. Most importantly, it buys Jason Morgan the precious time he so desperately needs. In a missing persons case, time is the absolute enemy, but a hostage situation creates a window of opportunity for a rescue. I can feel the suspense building in my bones as I think about how this is all going to unfold. We are looking at a massive emotional collision course. On one side, we have Jason racing against the clock, using every ounce of his street smarts and his newfound appreciation for life to track down a missing woman. On the other side, we have Anna slipping further and further into the dark abyss of her own mind, driven by the phantom voice of Peter August. And caught right in the middle is Britt, a woman who just wanted to go to work and live her life, now fighting a psychological battle for her very survival. When Jason finally catches up to them, because we all know he eventually will, it is not just going to be a simple rescue mission. It is going to be a massive, heartbreaking intervention. Jason is going to have to find a way to safely extract Britt while simultaneously dealing with a woman he respects, a woman who has completely lost her grip on reality. He will have to save Britt's life and try to save Anna's soul at the exact same time. It is going to take a tremendous amount of compassion, patience, and strength to diffuse a situation that is essentially a ticking emotional time bomb. As I sit here and reflect on all of this, it just reminds me to hold my own loved ones a little bit closer tonight. These stories, as dramatic as they are, touch on very real human fears. The fear of losing a child, the fear of our own minds betraying us, and the desperate hope that someone will come looking for us when we are lost in the dark. I am eagerly waiting on the edge of my seat to see how Liesl's motherly intuition, Jason's unwavering loyalty, and Anna's tragic struggle will all come together. Let us all hope that Britt can hold on just a little bit longer and that Anna can eventually find her way back to the light.